let's kick off with all things mobile, because it's also connected cars. And electric vehicles has really been an area you've been pushing, the Leaf in particular, the Nissan Leaf. How are they selling, and where's the competition? We're hearing Apple might be getting into electric vehicles. Does that worry you?
Well, it's growing. The sales of electric cars worldwide are growing, not as fast as you would like them to grow, and we understand why. First, people want electric cars cheaper, so we are continue to cut the cost and develop efficiency, productivity, etc. Then they want more infrastructure. They want to be able to charge the car everywhere, so the infrastructure is being developed. Quicker in some area of the world and slower in other areas. Then they would like more autonomy, so we are working on the battery. So I think it's a technology which today is, without any doubt, technology of the future. Many car makers are coming to it. Even people outside the car industry are coming to it with the announcement of Apple, which in a certain way it's refreshing for us to see that we were the first one to get into electric car. People had some doubts about who's going to join. Now practically all the industry is joining, and even actors outside the industry are joining. So it's going to be slow and steady.
And so where's leading the charge in terms of infrastructure? And also, are you able to provide people with a battery life that will be able to travel and transport you longer, so you don't need these battery provisions?
Yeah, well, I think first you're going to see many trends. First, evolution of the autonomy. That means today the autonomy is between 100 to 150 miles. You're going to more than double this with time. It's going to come in different phases, more than double. Second, we are going, and others also. That means because we know, we follow all the technology developed by some of the suppliers of batteries. We know it's going into this direction. Second, infrastructure is developing a lot. For example, in countries like Japan, like France, like the United States, like China. In other countries, it's much slower. And obviously, like any new technology, the costs are going down because there is much more efficiency, much more supply base moving in. So I'm optimistic on the fact that we're going to get to something much more competitive in the next years to come.
And taking it a step on from electric vehicles, you then got autonomous vehicles, you've got driverless cars, you've got Google, Uber talking about these sorts of developments. Where are you standing in that particular timeline? Well,
I think autonomous cars are a mega trend. It's a mega trend. It's something which is going to happen because it corresponds to needs in terms of safety, but needs in terms of quality of driving. This is not about replacing the driver. It just gives the driver, for us, much more power, much more autonomy, much more control on the car. So it's going to come step by step. For example, in our case, we announced for 2016 what we call a traffic jam autonomous driving. That means you're going to be in a car, you're caught in a traffic jam, you give control to the car, it's going to drive by itself. Then 2018 is going to be highway driving with change of lanes. You're going to be on a highway, you're going to be putting it on autonomous driving, and then the car is going to drive by itself. It's going to be able eventually to change lanes also in a very safe condition. Then 2020 is going to be city driving. So you're going to go from the more simple autonomous driving to a more complex. Now at the end of this journey, which may take probably more than 10 years, you may end up with driverless cars. Driverless cars are more for commercial reasons that you're going to be developing that. But there are a lot of reasons for which I'm absolutely not optimistic on the fact that driverless cars are going to come very soon. First, because technologically we're not ready, and second, you're going to have cybersecurity problems. You're going to have problems also with the regulators. Before a regulator accepts to have cars without a driver on the streets, it's going to require a lot of demonstration and proofs that this is going to be done in a very safe manner. So have you got a date in mind when you think we will get through all those hurdles? Yes, I think it's 10 years plus, in my opinion. Now, obviously, you're going to talk to competitors that may have different kind of time frame, but when I look at the technological challenge we still have in front of us, the regulator interrogation, cybersecurity concerns, I think driverless cars is going to take probably more than 10 years before being on the market.
But what about you call it a mega trend. What about the trends also for sharing cars, for the fact that, you might be all being transported within driverless cars as and when you need them? We don't need to be owning a car ourselves. Yeah. Will we change? Will the next generation not want to be owning cars themselves anymore?
Well, look, the trend exists today, particularly in mature markets. But it's still a very small portion of the use of the car. That means if I look at the industry sells 84 million cars per year. Now, from the 84 million cars sold per year, and on a car park which is today probably around 1 billion cars on the planet, the car sharing is a very, very small percentage. It's growing without any doubt, and it will grow, but it's still something relatively marginal compared to the classical use of I own a car and the car is part of my home, office. It's something which belongs to me, where not only I'm being transported, but I can live there, I can work there, and I have my special environment there.
We're talking a lot about the future. Let's talk about today. We're seeing protests in Russia. We're seeing uncertainty once again. You are owner of Autovaz. You control Autovaz, the biggest car player there. People are saying Renault is over-optimistic about the turnaround in Russia. Do you think you are?
Well, I mean, our forecast for the year 2015 is that Russia is going to be down between 20 and 30%. I don't consider this as a very optimistic perspective. And in fact, we have already first month in 2015, the month of January, 25% down in sales. So I think 2015 is going to be a tough year for all car makers in Russia. Probably 2016 also. But I have absolutely no doubt on the future of the Russian market. So we have already made the investments. We're already there. I think the options that we are acting on today is localizing our production to be, in a certain way, protect ourselves against the decline of the ruble, and weather the storm. And then when the storm will be finished, nobody knows how much time it's going to take. Well, hopefully to be in much better condition to capture market share and to grow fast when it will rebound. The history of the Russian market is very fast and steep decline, but also very strong rebound. So we need to be ready and careful for when the rebound will come. We represent today 35% of the Russian market between Avtovaz, Renault and Nissan. We're going to stay there. We're going to probably grow this market share and be ready for the rebound.
And January, you had a stellar year in terms of car sales. You were leading the charge when it came to Renault in particular for European car sales.
Yeah.
Do you think February will be as strong, March as strong?
Well, I think we're going to have a strong year in 2015. First, because we are building our offensive on cars which have been very successful that we have already launched. The last one being the Twingo. And 2015 is going to be a year where we're going to have many additional launches of cars which are iconic for the Renault brand, like Espace, which sales are going to be starting in April. You're going to have a crossover that we have announced that we're going to show at the Geneva Motor Show, which is Kadjar. We have many new cars coming in 2015, so it's going to be a very active and rich year in terms of product innovation. So yes, I feel good about 2015.